Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this lecture, we will see the step-by-step implementation of our project roadmap. So here you can see at the end we will be achieving this. So this is a developer. Developer is writing the code into its favorite programming language. In our case, it will be Spring Boot application, which is Maven Java-based application. So they are writing the code, and the code will be ultimately get pushed into the version control system, which is GitHub. For local repository, we will use Git, and it will be pushed into the GitHub repository. Then for build automation, we are using Maven, okay, Apache Maven. Then for containerization, we will be using Docker. So Docker images and Docker containers will be used to deploy our application so that all the dependencies will be under the Docker image. Then for integration testing, we will be using Selenium. Okay, so Selenium is a test automation tool. Now, this process, when developer push the code, automatically build, automatically Docker image get created, automatically containerization, or you can also put the Kubernetes here if you want. Okay, so I will be putting Kubernetes at the end, but if you want, you can put it here. I will show you that how you can integrate Kubernetes into your CI/CD pipeline. So here, automatically Docker image will be created, container will be created, automatically testing will happen, and then there will be a feedback which goes to the developer. So it will be almost immediately, because whenever we are talking about the DevOps process, the changes are very, very minor. Okay. So in a day, maybe multiple times you are deploying your code, and that code will go into the production or certain environment. So when developer is pushing the code and it is built and Docker image get created and testing sends the result to the developer, this process is called continuous integration. In CI/CD, this is CI. Okay. Now, once the code is tested successfully, next part is that infrastructure as a code. So in infrastructure as a code, your code will be uh, managing the configuration of your servers. Like if you want to install certain softwares like Java, Docker, etc. So you use Ansible. Means I'm using Ansible in this project, but there are many configuration management tools are there. Then my code will be deployed as a container and it will be managed by the Kubernetes. So Docker mainly we will be using for the containerization or Docker images. Then that code will go into the production. So there are two cases. One is called continuous delivery. So this process is continuous delivery. Okay. In delivery, basically, there is a manual approval is required to move the code into the production or certain environment. So manual approval is required. But if we talk about the continuous deployment, then there is no manual intervention. So this is automatic approval. So I will show you both the cases that how we can do the manual approval or how we can do the automation using continuous deployment. So let me just walk through this document, and then we will start our project. So, so we will initialize the Git repository. We will create the different branches like feature, develop, or main branch. We will see the GitHub action or Jenkins. I will be concentrating on Jenkins. So GitHub action I have mentioned here, but in this project, I will be using Jenkins. And we will configure the webhook trigger for our CI pipeline. For build automation tool, I will use Maven. We will create the Docker file for our microservices for containerization purpose. We will push the images to our central repository. In our case, we will be using the Docker Hub as our Docker images repository. We will be using Ansible. to install certain software like Docker or Kubernetes or some dependencies. Uh, then the we will configure the nodes cluster load balancer automatically by using this Ansible. That is the main purpose for the Ansible, to manage the infrastructure using code. So we will see that how we can manage our environment using this code. Then ultimately we will have a CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins files. We will have checkout code, build and automation, unit testing. We will do the unit testing also. We will build the Docker image. We will push the images to the registry. We will deploy the code into the Kubernetes cluster. We will run our application uh, with the integration of Selenium test. And at the end, we will build our application and push it into certain environment like production, right? Selenium will be used for the test automation, as I mentioned, and then we will use Prometheus for the metrics, scrap metrics, which is a scrape metrics, which is basically uh, for monitoring our ports. And if we want to see the visualization, we will be using the Grafana dashboard. We will, at the end, we will be checking uh, that deployment is successful or not. We will see whether it needs a rollback or any recovery process. So that will be the expected deliverables, right? And at the end, you will see that how our existing application is converted into the DevOps process. Okay, so I hope you understand the objective and step-by-step roadmap of this project. We will start our project implementation from next lecture. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next lecture. Bye bye.